Welcome to 10 Minute Climate, the podcast brought to you by Beaverbrook Energy. Beaverbrook Energy helps clients navigate the energy transition, identifying the best route forward, quantifying the costs and benefits, and delivering real-world results through funded and managed projects. Join Max.
Hi, I'm Max.
And Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Who between them have got over 70 years of experience in the energy industry, and they're here to share it with you. Each episode, they'll cut through myths, answer the questions you've always wanted to ask, and break down the latest news about the energy transition. It's everything you need to know, delivered in just 10 minutes. So let's get started. Welcome to 10 Minute Climate.
Why haven't we got more wind turbines? Why does everybody hate wind turbines? Why have we not had any wind turbines for 14 years?
Have you not?
No. Why, when we're sitting on over 40% plus of the potential wind power resource of the entire European continent, we have less wind power than Spain. In fact, probably less than Italy now. And Ukraine installed more land-based wind during a war with Russia than we have.
So why?
People who have influence decided they didn't like looking at wind turbines.
People with influence. It was people who live in the countryside with a bit of cash would get together and fight it tooth and nail.
Yes.
And then got the Cameron government, I think, coalition government, to ban it.
Yes.
Maybe it was post 2015.
Yeah, they
election.
didn't actually ban the wind turbines, but what they did is they made the rules so difficult to comply with that it ended up summarily, virtually, as a ban.
Businesses were trying to install turbine fields.
Developers would be trying to develop a wind farm, which is, fields and putting up big turbines. And local people would say, we don't like the way it looks. I think it was really just about the way it looks. I mean, there are a lot of other things about, does it kill birds? Well, it doesn't kill birds anything on the scale of cats.
Domestic cats kill birds.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And then there was a lot of scare stories about how the noise would drive people mad.
Yeah.
Which I don't think has ever been proven.
No,
I don't think you want to be right next to one.
But the noise level at whatever it is, 60 decibels or something, I think, around there, at ground level, is about the same as having a tumble dryer in the next room.
Which is quite irritating.
It can be irritating, but it's not, and very few people would be associated with that. Yes, wind turbines would be wonderful if you built them somewhere else. And the argument about them destroying the countryside, which I always find quite amusing, because we haven't got any countryside. We've got an agricultural industry which has created what we call the countryside, but it's a monocrop, chemically enhanced factory that we think of natural environment.
Well, yeah, but it is pretty, and it's fair enough. If you live somewhere you've got a view, you might not want them, but it's
any
obviously
estate
an NIMBY
agent
issue.
will tell you didn't buy the view when you bought the house.
Sure.
It is fair enough to be like, I don't want that annoying noise.
Yeah, but the annoying noise is a very small number of people. It's all about visual impact. People not liking what it looks like.
Yeah.
And the argument's always the same. I like wind turbines. I want renewable energy, but I don't think here's the right place for it.
Yeah.
And there was a huge industry from early 2000s to 2015.
We were world-leading manufacturers of onshore wind.
I was going to say there was a huge industry in anti-wind turbine litigation.
There's
there was a huge number of lawyers making money out of it. So
Yes.
you get local groups of, well-to-do farmers or people who live in the countryside who put together the money, and they'd employ a barrister to go and take it to judicial review. And it was a nightmare then. Then it stopped completely. And now maybe it comes back. But, I guess the thing about wind that people don't know is how much has been built in the North Sea. And it is a huge amount.
Yes.
So actually, although we haven't built onshore, we have built an unbelievable amount. And if you take a plane to Amsterdam or something, you look out the window and you just can't believe the scale.
You just need to stand on the East Coast. You can see them. And it really is a massive resource. And we've barely scratched the surface of what we could develop. The UK has a massive potential resource in wind, and we've cut ourselves off from that.
Onshore, but we haven't offshore.
Onshore.
But there's a fundamental problem, the difference between wind and solar. So solar is a silicon-based technology with no moving parts. It's relatively similar to microchips. You're printing a board, it doesn't move, and it's got incredible economies of scale and ability to shrink cost, as we've seen. It's down by 99% or something.
Yeah.
The problem with wind is that it's huge moving bits of steel and fiberglass.
Yeah.
So you can get economies of scale by the turbines getting big,
Yeah.
and some of them are massive now. I think the Chinese have announced one that is
15 megawatts.
No, 26.
Right, okay.
They've got operational.
So that must be
They've got operational
200 meters
prototypes.
high.
The 26 is 300-meter diameter blade.
Right.
It's not been built yet. It's been announced, but they have 20 megawatt turbines in prototype stage, not yet offshore, that can survive a typhoon. I mean, they're really, really big. And that, for context, 20 megawatt turbine at offshore utilization will one stick power the equivalent of 100,000 households. So it's a really, really, really big bit of kit. Probably 100,000 Chinese households, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, it's expensive, and it remains expensive, and it's never going to be cheap.
Yeah, but the advantage with the wind blows when the sun doesn't shine. That's a major advantage. And the conversion of capacity to realized energy in wind turbines is about double solar for our part of the planet. So what they call
You
the
get
yield,
more out of it.
the yield factor. So if you build a megawatt of solar and a megawatt of wind, you'll get twice as much energy in a year out of a megawatt of wind than you'll get out of a megawatt of solar, right?
Yes.
So fundamentally, you get twice as much for your money. So the economics, the actual, still, despite the changes in solar, the cheapest form of generating energy in the 1 to 10 megawatt range is to put a wind turbine on land, right, to an existing system. That's the cheapest form of energy by far.
Of renewable energy or all energy?
Renewable, well, all energy, because renewable energy is cheaper than conventional energy already. But that has been denied us because of the aesthetic argument that we've had for a number of years, which was supported politically because it was considered meet and right so to do. Whatever, that's gone now. That's changing. But I think the UK will see major changes in the next 5 years in terms of the amount of wind power that's developed, because the biggest restricting factor for a lot of our wind power is the electrical connection between Scotland, where most of the wind is, and southern England, where most of the energy is used. But we can lay cables offshore, and we need.
It's beginning to happen.
Yeah, and it's happening already. The reality is, wind power, like solar power, is becoming cheaper because the technology is understood better, the manufacturing techniques are better. So we're going to see more embedded. I embedded a turbine in a factory 20 odd years ago, and I can't see anybody screaming to take it out because the value of that asset has just gone up all the time.
Yeah, and I think people get used to them. Fundamentally, I quite like them.
I think they're beautiful. But honestly, I think they're majestic. Someone could write a symphony to offshore wind turbines because they're so huge, but they're basically embeddable at community level. Take a little village, stick a wind turbine up, and you could almost disconnect the village from the grid.
It'd be interesting to see if that happens because there's less opposition now. There's more understanding of what we need to do.
Yeah.
If you can get a grid connection. So I think bottom line, we missed a trick by banning it. We have built offshore, which is impressive, though it's more expensive. Now the rules have changed. Let's see what happens.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really helps us grow and continue bringing you valuable content. If you're curious to learn more about Beaverbrook Energy and how we're navigating the future of energy, feel free to reach out to us directly. And for those looking for quick, actionable insights on the energy transition, be sure to subscribe to our 10-second climate newsletter, delivered every weekend with essential intelligence to help business leaders stay ahead of the curve. We appreciate you listening, and we look forward to having you join us again next time. Stay informed, stay engaged, and take care.